Exterior. Street outside. Day. A normal street in a bleak post-industrial world. The sky is pale grey, the buildings almost exclusively bare concrete. Rust and decay are everywhere. The camera pans past a tower block, apparently abandoned, windows smashed in or missing altogether. Past another block, almost identical. Panning down. Smaller buildings now. Terrace houses, bungalows, semis stacked together like broken doll houses. Camera is at ground level now, moving towards one house in particular, the only one with any sign of life. It pushes in through a window and we see what's inside. Cut to interior, the living room. The interior design is a bizarre mixture of Victorian and modern. Antiquated furniture, floral wallpaper, a broken grandfather clock. Thin copper pipes cover the walls, gurgling with an unseen liquid, ending in a tap just above the old television set which dominates the space. We do not see any of the people sat in the many armchairs dotted around the place. The camera focuses exclusively on the TV as it lights up in red static and begins to show a bizarre public service announcement.
These children went outside to play. They didn't know what was waiting for them. It could happen to you. Do not go outside. New McGillicuddy's oatmeal provides all the nutrients.
The TV fizzles out. Cut to interior, Tom's room. Tom's face fills the frame, uncomfortably tight, reflected in a mirror. He is in his mid to late 20s, slicked back hair fitting tight over the scalp, pale, gaunt, eyes wide and fearful. His room is windowless, bed sheets decorated with pink and blue teddy bears, a framed photo of a duck hung just above the headboard. These are not the decorations he wants. He leans a little closer to the mirror, steaming it up with every breath, and begins his daily ritual. He picks at his hair, checking for grey. Nothing. He examines his teeth. Still there. He clutches at his skin, still tight. He relaxes, but only a little. The door opens. Judith enters. An old woman, skinny, light grey skin, hair the colour of nicotine stains. Judith. Tom, Ethel's just died. Tom. Oh. And Arthur, he's just died too. Okay. Mildred doesn't look too well either. Sure. Will you put them in the vat later? Only Arthur used to do that sort of thing, and now he's gone. I get it. So you'll do it then? Yeah. Oh, don't do me any favours. I was just asking if... Yeah, okay, I'll do it. I mean, if you can spare a moment, I can see you're busy right now with... Yes, Judith! I'll be happy to help them into the vat. Thank you. Good. Oh, and the news will be on soon. Thanks. Judith closes the door. Tom sighs hard, steaming the mirror almost entirely. Cut to interior, the living room. An old man, Philip, hair and skin the same colour as Judith, staggers from his armchair and over to the now dead television set. He opens a flap at the top of the machine and turns the key of the brass tap above. The pipes around the room gurgle and creak before a spurt of thick blood erupts from the nozzle. It fills the television to the brim and he slams down the lid once more, wiping a few stray drops from the screen. The thing lights up with fresh static and a standby screen slowly fades in. We now see all the other residents of the house, all old, all with grey skin and yellowing hair. There's Mildred, short and dumpy, Rupert, broad and haggard, Giles, thin and wiry, Agatha, wispy and hunched, and Roger, a rotting skeleton with only one eye. Next to these are 2 additional chairs covered in shrouds. Arthur and Ethel. Agatha. We only topped that thing up yesterday. Philip, taking his seat. It were over a week ago. No, can't be. I remember it clearly. We switched it on and it talked about the man who was mauled by the fox. Yeah, that were last week's news. I thought last week was the one about the girl being poisoned by her father. No, that were last month's. Was it? Time flies. Tom enters, shuffling nervously. He looks completely out of place amongst his shriveled housemates. Oh, you. I suppose you're after them too. He points to the bodies under the shrouds. Well, better hurry up, their houses'll be hurting soon. Language! Tom throws off the first shroud. Arthur looks up at him, his expression disaffected. His face is tired, sunken, cracked lips and dull eyes. Arthur? Tom? So, you've died then, have you? You always were a sharp one. I always figured it would be Roger who went next. What, him? Nah, he's hanging on out of pure spite by this point. Roger rolls his one eye over to them and slowly lifts a V sign. Ah, back at you, you grizzled old... Well, shall we go then? Cut 2. Interior, the pipe room. Tom and Arthur enter slowly, pushing boxes of random junk out of their way. The room is deep under the house's foundation, cramped and dark, flooded by deep red lighting. The pipes that outlined the walls of the TV room are now completely covering them, huge and thick like the roots of a giant tree. Thin jets of steam erupt intermittently, causing Tom to flinch with their force. Arthur doesn't react at all. So, what happened? I don't want to talk about it. I've just never seen someone die before. You never saw me die. They reach a large boilerplate vat. A heavy lid sits over its top, thin wisps of steam emerging from beneath, pipes running from its base, linking into the walls. Tom opens the lid and checks inside. The vat is half filled with the same blood we saw running out of the tap. Well, looks like you timed it right. Arthur just grunts, takes off his shoes and steps into the vat. Tom stands hesitantly. Well, go on then. Tom doesn't move. You do know how to do it, right? Tom nods, looking down to a dirty red button on the side. Fine. You want to know what did me in? We were watching the news like normal, and it started talking about a man who got chopped up by this axe murderer. Ugh, grisly it was. Cut him up into little bits, his arms and legs severed, his chest burst open, even had his head split in two so all the brains went spilling everywhere. Grisly stuff. And you know what I thought? You lucky bastard! That's what I thought! Because I realised if I have to spend another minute in this shithole, I'm gonna start searching for that axe murderer too! You think living in this shithole is bad now? Oh, you just wait! How old do you think I am, huh? 43! I'm only 40 fucking 3! Look at my hair! Look at my skin! I can't stand it anymore! So if you're not going to help me, then by God, I'm going to... Tom slams the lid down over Arthur's head, shutting him inside. At last! The boy's showing some goddamn initiative for once! He presses the button and the room is filled with the sound of an industrial blender. A small dribble of blood runs down from the rim of the vat. The sound stops abruptly. Tom stares for a moment before turning away, walking back the way he came.